Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the original Red Couch Talk. Today I have Betty with Portos Bakery joining me. Good morning, Betty, and thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Nice day, beautiful day outside.
Very good. Well, thank you for joining me. And I was wondering if you could tell our audience who you are and how you could be reached.
So my name is Betty Porto, and I can, if you go to West Covina, you'll see me there almost every day. So I can be reached by calling the bakery. I don't have a private number, so anybody can just call and say they want to speak to me, or they can email me. And the email is beatrice.porto@portosbakery.com.
And we will also list your information at the end of our video. So if you guys want that information, please tune in at the end of the video for that. Betty, so one of my first questions, I know you're from Cuba.
Yes.
So how was life out there as you remember it?
Well, we came when I was 14. I turned 14 when I got here. So I think of all my brother and my sister, I have more of an idea of what life was there because they were little and my parents kept them very sheltered. Because one of the things that you did in Cuba was politics was not something that you talked to your children about. Because if the children said something inappropriate, you would have the police coming and taking you to jail. So we didn't talk about leaving the country. They didn't talk to us about anything. So my parents, great parents, they always were, they tried to keep us living at home, and we were in a little bubble. So whatever was going outside, my mother always tried to make it fun. So even though she was making cakes at home, working 10 to 12 hours a day in the kitchen, doing something that was illegal, she still managed to bake us a cake, and we would baptize our dolls and have a party. So inside our home, we had our own life that had nothing to do with the politics of the outside world, because again, they didn't tell us about politics, but we could be in trouble. We were leaving the country. We were not told that we were leaving the country. Because they didn't want us to be talking about it to other kids, because we didn't talk about my mom's business at home because that was illegal. So if we told somebody, oh, my mom is making cakes at home, she would have been taken to jail, and it's like 20 years because she was doing what they call private enterprise. And that's illegal in a communist country. So she worked real hard. I love my dad. My dad was taken to a labor camp because when you decided to leave Cuba, your father was taken to a labor camp away from the house. And we didn't see him every day. We only saw him when he had a pass. So imagine my mother is home, raising 3 children, and supporting us, because if she didn't do this illegally, this cake making and making the meat pies and all that, the government didn't care whether we ate or not.
Right.
That's not their problem. You're the enemy of the state. Whether you live or not, they don't care about.
Right.
So, she became an expert at survival.
Yeah, in difficult times indeed.
Yeah, and that's a woman that arrives to the United States. So people say, was it tough? No.
Yeah, something very proud to be, something proud to be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, it was. People ask all the time, was it hard to come into America? But you don't understand, as an immigrant coming from a communist country, America is the land of milk and honey for us, anyways. It was.
Right. I think somewhere I read that, as you just stated, your father had to go off and work, and your mother had to, do what she had to for survival. So she's baking all these goods, and it's illegal, basically.
Yes.
How does word get around that she's selling this?
In all the communist countries, there's a black market. People buy things, on the black market. People tell each other. And so it was word of mouth. It wasn't publicized. They never would say, it started with the neighbors. They started telling her, you're so talented because she's self-taught. Why don't you start making cakes for the neighbors so you can make a living? That's how she started. She went back to her grandmother's recipes, started making cakes, but neighbors would tell each other. And I call it a labor of love, because if your daughter was getting married, you couldn't make her a wedding cake because the ingredients are, ration. So the whole family had to put together, 2 eggs here, 2 eggs there, a couple of pounds of flour. Everybody had to bring the materials to my mother. All my mother did was bake the cake and decorate it. She couldn't go to a supermarket to get the goods. They were rationed. So the whole family, if you were having a wedding cake, would have to pitch in. And what they couldn't get by pitching in, they would have to buy in the black market.
That's very interesting.
So it's not easy making a cake. And then when it comes time to my mother getting paid, my mother would get paid in whatever form. It wasn't money because money meant nothing. What do you do with money if you can't go to the store and buy it?
True.
So people would bring your food, beans, rice, chickens. So it's bartering.
Okay.
Basically.
Right. Yeah.
That's the way she survived.
Okay.
That was more important than having money when you can't go to the store to buy anything.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, food to feed you guys with. Yeah. So, what are some of the difficulties your family faced when they decided that they did want to come to the States?
Yeah. So what I just told you, the moment you decide you live in the United States, you become the enemy of the state.
Right.
So my dad's taken to a labor camp, away from home.
Okay.
He sleeps, he eats in the labor camp. Maybe it was an hour away. And with transportation issues, in order for him to get home, it would hop in whatever, hiking in trucks, whatever came along the way. And my mother, again, was left with 3 kids. And she had to raise us without him being around. And at the same time, be working while we were sleeping.
Okay.
You know, cooking and baking, all these things. When they would turn off, sometimes the lights would go off. They would turn off the lights for the whole block, and she would end up making a cake by beating the meringue icing with a fork manually.
Wow.
I mean, stuff like that that people can't even imagine that takes place. So, and then the time that we waited almost 8 years to get out, so it took us 8 years to come here. So you know that was hard because you're in limbo land. You're waiting. You're the enemy of the state. You're dependent on them, and you leave whenever they decide that all your paperwork is done. So it took us almost 8 years.
Wow,
to leave
8
Cuba.
years.
That was tough.
Yeah,
Very
I
hard.
could imagine. Yeah. So as Cuban Americans, when did you know you made it in this business? How did you know?
I mean, this is a business that we've been doing this for 40 years.
Right.
So it wasn't overnight success.
Right.
First of all, you start as my mom and dad as 2 immigrants, mom and pop. They're basically working to survive, to put us through school. We were supposed to be the lawyers and the doctors, like typical immigrant stuff. They never dreamed that it was going to get to be this big. So we worked at it every day. We were going to school, we were working at the bakery. So again, mom and pop, my mother working, my dad had another job. Then when he got a little bit better, she said, quit the job. We can afford to hire you now. And we were going to school and we were working the bakery. Went to the university, the 3 of us, but we never left the bakery. So we were going to university, we were working the bakery. I don't think we realized what we had accomplished until we started growing the business. Like my brother, my sister and I, 80 to 82, 84, we decided that we have fallen in love with the business. And after all finishing universities, we decided to put our talent and our knowledge to work. So my parents, for the first time, at 67 years of age, get to go on a vacation. And they leave us behind. And when they come back, everything is in its place. And everything went according to, so then they start realizing that
you guys can imagine, right?
And my brother, being a business major that he is, he started taking more and more, coming up with ideas. We were lucky enough then to be in Glendale. City of Glendale grew. The city of Glendale went through a big growth, and all these employees started coming, and buildings and banks. So all of a sudden we have, 3,000 people across the bakery. So again, supply and demand. There was a supply in the city of Glendale for more coffee, for sandwich. So we grew at a necessity because they were there and they were. So it wasn't like at that time we were not planning it.
Right.
They just happened. We see, oh my God, there's 3,000 people. Let's give them
I
coffee.
heard about the
Let's make
lines.
sandwiches.
Yes.
So it's supply and demand. And then my brother, being the business major that he is, the smart guy that he is, it's like my mother, started thinking that outside the box and started thinking about, we have this little thing in Glendale and we know it upside down. Why don't we start venturing and start
other locations?
And they start opening other locations now. The hardest thing was learning how to do that. So learning how to delegate, and we had to divide the bakery in smaller sections, put supervisors and managers in each one, so we can then open up and duplicate the success of the Glendale store in every one of the stores. So I think about now, the moment that we opened Burbank, our first location, when we opened Burbank, there were people outside waiting for us. And we thought, okay, we're not ready. We only have this many people. Why are they outside? We're supposed to be open, and they're supposed to be slow, and we get to grow as. And then when we came to Downey, we realized that the same thing had happened to Burbank, happened in Downey, but in Falls. People waiting 3 or 4 hours, and people that are falling in love with what we do, but without us really realizing it. And again, you open West Covina,
and all the lines were crazy.
The 2 lines for 2 months, the lines are crazy, and people are still, out of the goodness of their heart, wanting to be there and be part of this great
growth,
this adventure. So, how lucky are we to have that love from communities that they're willing to wait 4 hours because I go, why don't you wait? Wait until it slows down and everything. Oh no, we want to be part of history. So the ones that when it first, every time we do an opening, they get a special prize. There's people 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock waiting outside the day of the opening. So I think the success came slowly, but I think now we understand what we've done because so many people walk through the doors every day, especially now with Covina being new. And every day, because I'm in the floor, taking pictures, talking to people.
Yes.
They keep telling how much they love us, how grateful they are that we came to West Covina, that they've been waiting for us forever. And
which is true.
I mean, how many businesses get to open a food place where your customers are there already instead of waiting around to build a clientele? So it took a long time, but I think the moment we started branching out and opening in other cities, we realized the following and that we have and how much our name means. I mean, I did an event in Dodger Stadiums.
Wow.
And because we do, Dodger Stadium has different events, Cuban night, Korean night, Mexican night.
Right.
And I was part of the committee. And I was in the middle of the field. And when they said Portos Bakery, I had a standing ovation.
Wow.
And the guy that was bringing me to the field, he's new to the city. He goes, who are you? Why are these people standing and applauding? So that was like a reality check, like, oh my God. We have managed to touch so many people. I mean, on a weekend, on a Saturday, we get 10 to 15,000 people in each store coming in. We get to be part of their life, their celebrations.
Right.
Whether it's a wedding, a quinceañera, a birthday. So it's a business of, it's a business that keeps going. It's a business of, it's a family business in every way. You can imagine. It just keeps going and the families keep coming back to me. So now I'm marrying kids that my mom made their wedding cake. It's really a fun business to be. It's a repeat business. And people keep coming back.
Very good.
You know what it is?
I do business. because even now to Downey, sometimes there and the lines are a couple hours compared to here in West Covina, 3 or 4 hours. So I could see where you're saying your clientele just continues to come
but I mean,
and it's
you're in the same type of business. It's repeat business. If people love you and you do right by them, they will come back and follow you.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
I mean, if you give them good service, incredible food, and incredible pricing, they will follow you. And people think that's easy to do, but it's not. It's taken us 40 years to get what we are.
And I know you start off with bakery goods. So how did that get into food, where people are now?
Well, again, as you start growing, and the biggest thing is there's a demand. There's a demand. And you think, okay, so breakfast is a smaller ticket.
Right.
Why can't we get lunch and dinner, which is a much bigger ticket, because it's more expensive to have lunch than it is to buy breakfast. Let's start working on that. So at this time, it's different because at the beginning, we just were like, okay, let's make coffee. Let's jump in the coffee wagon. Let's start making more sandwiches, not 1 or 2, but 15. At this time, we understand how important lunch and dinner are, so we have people dedicated because we've grown. We have people in the kitchen that don't do anything all day long. They're in a separate facility. It's a test kitchen, and all they do all day long is play with food and come up with new recipes. So as we speak, we have 2 chefs in savory and 2 chefs in desserts. Their sole job is to come up with new recipes, come up with new dishes, and make sure that whatever we're using, we already have there. So now it's another level. Now we have all the help that we need to know what people want, and to come up with all kinds of new dishes. So every day they're coming out with seasonal items, not only in the sweets, but seasonal items in the kitchen. So when we open West Covina, every time we open a new store, we have 2 new items that we're showcasing in West Covina that we don't have in the other stores.
Oh, interesting.
So that's a special thing that we do every time we do an opening. Once it gets to be well known, then we'll take it to the other stores. So we're making a tres leche, a cup with mango in between.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
So that's only there. And we also make a twist, a croissant twist, with custard and tiny little chocolate chips. Those 2 items are only in West Covina. But once we introduce them, then we'll roll it out to the other stores. So we do that because we want, when you open a store, you want the people that are coming to you feeling that you did something special just for them. So
that's very interesting. Yeah, how did you guys come up with that idea?
Because we have all the extra help now.
That's good.
Again, when you're mom and pop, you're barely surviving.
Yes.
And meeting the demand. When you're able to have as many employees as we have now, with all the employees that we have now, we have the opportunity to divide the workload and have people that only think about best ingredients. Where do you get the best ingredients from the world? Because we do bring them from all over the world. Whether it's chocolate or honey. And how do you best showcase those ingredients? Once they come to the bakery.
Right. Yeah. So I had somebody ask me, I don't know if you're comfortable with sharing this, because it is a family business and now you're growing and you had to bring in other people that obviously will not be family members. Is there some type of hesitation to share those recipes with them because they might take them elsewhere?
This is funny. People say that when other people try to copy you, that is the biggest compliment you can get. So I mean, if you have a worker at the bakery, he's doing a recipe in front of him with color pages and pictures is the recipe. So it's not hidden, because we want to make sure when they're making the sauce, they can go back, and some people learn by watching, some people have to recheck every time. So all the recipes are exposed. We have other times people that have copied recipes and they've tried to open a bakery and they fail because
it's not the same touch as...
It's not only that, it's so expensive to open a bakery. We started like a mom and pop, but if we were coming now as a mom and pop to grow a business like this, equipment is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's very hard for somebody. They might be a little mom and pop and they might make a nice living by increasing their prices and selling a muffin for $3.75 instead of $1.75. But that's not going to go anywhere. It's just a small mom and pop. We are now much bigger than that. And that's why we can afford to sell things at the prices that we do. But we have people, recipes are open. People can copy whatever they want if they want to. But opening a business is not that easy.
No, it's not.
You need the capital, you need the passion, you need to be able to willing to put in 7 days a week for many, many years and to work 12 to 15 hours like my mother did. And so we have a new generation, our children, that are beginning to go there. And they're working, 5 days, 6 days, 12 hours a day. So they're being taught like we were by our parents. And a lot of people are not willing to put the sacrifice. So it's easy to copy, but it's not easy to open a business. Because you need to have the work ethics and you need to be willing to sacrifice as a young person your weekends for years to come. So,
and I don't think a lot of people understand it, just like you explained.
They don't, and you need a capital. You need capital to be able to be in business for a year. 90% of the food business go out of business the first 6 months. So it's not an easy business.
And I know early on you guys established a really good relationship with the banks, right?
We were able to open because remember back when my mom wanted, the first place was opened in 1976. In order for my mom to get a loan, she had no collateral, so no banker wanted to give her a loan. The only reason we got $5,000 is because there was a Cuban friend of hers from our town that was working in the bank, and he knew of her work, and he took a chance. He believed in her passion for what she was doing, and he took a chance. Try that on today. If you don't have the collateral, if you don't have the property, you're not gonna get a loan. So it's not. It's different times.
Definitely different times.
So we have a good relationship with the banks because this guy took a chance on us. Because he believed in her passion and her work and her product.
And I was a loan for $5,000 that got all this started.
1975.
Wow.
That's what it was.
And I know your siblings are also in the business. So
Yes.
what roles do each one of you guys have?
So it's funny because we all went to school. I was going to go to law school. I have a master's in political science. My brother's like an economic major, and my sister studied accounting.
Okay.
When we stopped and decided to start the bakery, it just happened to be natural the way we all went. So my brother went to the business. He's a business major. My sister and myself, we have been taught to become decorators by my mother. We became wedding cakes. My sister stayed behind. She's very talented, and she became the head of the department, decorating wedding cakes, quinceañera cakes. And the reason I got to go to the front of the house is because as we were growing, my parents were immigrants. My father couldn't speak English that well. So they said, hey, are you the one with the big mouth? You go to the front, you talk to the customers.
Yeah.
So it just happened that I love people,
Okay.
and I love what I do, and I love to share information and to do this kind of stuff, or to go to schools and do lecturing. So it was natural for me, because as a lawyer, I probably was going to be a litigator, because I love to be in front of people, and I'm not shy or anything, never was. So it just naturally came to be.
Yeah.
We didn't set out to go to school to study this. No, I was going to go to law school.
Yeah.
After I got my master's, and there were too many lawyers. My brother did study economics, so he gets to do what he went to school for. My sister happened to be very talented, and she was taught by my mother, and she stayed at that department. So now she, sometimes she, like right now, her bakery, Glendale one, has all the wedding cakes and the quinceañeras.
Okay.
So if you want a wedding cake, a quinceañera, you have to go to Glendale. She has a whole 20 decorators, the best ones are there.
Oh, wow.
And that's all that she does on the weekends. She might do on the weekend like 60 to 62 wedding and quinceañera cakes.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But you have to have somebody there, because that's a big responsibility.
Absolutely.
You're making somebody's wedding cake.
Yeah.
So she stays there. Again, me, the big mouth, the one that loves people, I get to travel to all the stores.
Okay.
What do? I go to a store, I talk to people, we share experiences, they take pictures with me, we become friends. I start with the farmers market in the cities.
Okay.
And a lot of the people that went to the farmers market in West Covina are now coming to the store. So I get to do the fun part. I get to go to schools, talk to business classes, get feedback for the children. So I think my job is the best job in the world.
Yeah, sounds like it. Right.
I wake up every day, I have a purpose, I go into a place that I love. So it's not like, oh God, I gotta go. No.
Right.
I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I know when I walk in, the first thing I do is I talk to everybody. Good morning, how you doing? How's your family?
That's awesome.
So it's a little family, but now each baker becomes an extension of our family.
Yeah.
And we have a really good relationship with employees.
That's good, because the more your employees feel appreciated, the more they're gonna want to be there and work and do the best for you.
Yeah, that's and with that customer relationships and good customer relations, it doesn't matter how good your product is, people will stop coming. So
Yeah, very
you
true.
need to work. That's a new thing that we didn't have to worry about when we started.
Yeah.
It was in the beginning. It was all about quality and pricing. Now it's about the experience. That's why you see how beautiful my brother goes crazy trying to come out with the most beautiful bakeries in the world, because he thinks people appreciate that. So like the new store that's being built, that will be built in Northridge, will be completely different than this one, and he wants to have the wow factor. You want people to say, oh my God, this is my bakery now. Look how beautiful it is. I get to go to a beautiful place, and it's my bakery.
Well, I was going to say that about West Covina, because so far I think West Covina is one of the most beautiful buildings you guys have.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
It's gorgeous. But the next one will be
even better.
Yeah, because there's always new things coming up.
Right.
Like that one is not only looks beautiful, inside is more efficient. The electricity, the water, everything, the ovens, equipment is more efficient than the one in Downey, because things are progressing so quick.
Right. Yeah.
So the next one is going to be having features that we won't have in West Covina, because something else in 2 years came up. But we think our customers deserve to go to a beautiful place. We want people to know that Latinos and minorities or people from all over the world, doesn't matter where you come from, you still like beautiful things.
Right, absolutely.
And good food. And so we want them to feel like, oh my God, this is,
this is where I want to be.
This is where I want to be.
Yeah, because I know myself sometimes, you know, I just go sit up, meet a client there, and I end up working there just because the atmosphere is so inviting.
It's, people feel like at home, and it's funny because whenever there's an issue, anything, people will go to the bakery to get together. I never forget in the Northwich earthquake, we were in Glendale, and there was a big building across the street. The earthquake took place, and all our employees are like running home and stuff, and all the people across, instead of going home, come to the bakery. So my brother and me and my sister are going crazy, trying to feed all these people that some reason don't feel safe across the street, but they think the bakery's a safe place to be.
Right.
It's funny how people...
they think, right, And I know Spanish was your first language.
Yes.
So how soon did, after arriving here, did you learn English? Because you speak it so well.
Because, you know, if you lock me up in a room and I have no contact with humans, I would probably die. I don't like to be locked up in an office.
Right.
So I wanted to communicate so badly, and I wanted to make friends that within 3 months I was able to communicate. And within 6 months, I was tutoring older people, ESL classes. So English to me was a piece of cake, but I think it's because of the fact that I wanted to communicate.
Right.
If you don't want to talk to people, then you can take your time. But when you want to communicate and you want to make friends, and you learn the language much faster.
Right. Yeah.
To me, English to me was easy, and I was not embarrassed to make mistakes.
Which holds a lot of people back.
Yeah. Whether I call you he or she, didn't matter. I just wanted to get my point across. And, you know, kids would laugh and they would become my friends. Learning English and being part of the ESL to me was the greatest experience, because in ESL, when we came to this country, not only taught you the language, it taught you the culture. What a barbecue was, what a picnic was, all that was taught to us in the ESL classes.
I see.
So we felt special. The kids at ESL all felt special.
Oh yeah, because you guys were tight knit.
We were pampered by the teachers more so than kids that were going to regular school.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great program.
Yeah. What is the one of the memories that you hold special and you carry within yourself that you brought home? I mean, brought here from home.
From home. Oh my God, there's. If you ask me, it's all my friends that I left behind.
Okay.
You know, all the friends that I had, but you know, as a kid, at the beginning you feel bad, but the moment, like you say, you learn the language, you still coming out and make new friends. And we were lucky because immigrants tend to go with other immigrants go.
Right.
So the reason people say, why did you go to Florida? In 1971, there was no jobs, right? So we came to Los Angeles, and we ended up in a community that was full of Cubans. So the moment we came in, and those families gave to us furniture, all washing machines. We all helped each other. So it's like a small community.
Yeah.
And so I made friends right away. So those friends that I made, our parents and our grandparents were friends.
Right.
So we came here to a little niche.
Okay.
And we were surrounded by lots of friends and family. So that, thinking back about it, it's very special to me that we came to a community that was waiting for us, and we didn't feel like we were lost.
Okay.
But anything that we needed was provided. Again, from a refrigerator to a washing machine to our house being furnished completely by friends and family. That when they came, somebody else did that for them. So they passed it on, and that's very special.
Absolutely.
You're not coming to a strange place with no family.
You're not feeling lost.
So that to me, coming here, that was the most special thing. Being embraced by this community of people that knew about, and they told us what to do, how to get a job, how do you go to ESL classes, what school do you go to. So a lot of help.
Yeah. One of my associates, I think I shared with you earlier, knows your parents and was telling me some of that story, and I was like, that's very interesting.
We helped each other.
That
we
that
came
means
from
a lot.
The same town, same city.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
now all those people are sad. They're all in their 90s.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what water they drank. They're all in their 90s.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. What is the best advice that your parents gave you?
I think the best advice, my parents, it wasn't, they showed us by example. So it wasn't like, you need to work hard. No. They were working hard, and they led by example by being the first person to arrive at the bakery, by being the last person to arrive. My parents never took a sick day off. They were never sick. How do you manage that? I have no clue. How do we get sick now? And they did. Again, they led by example.
Yeah,
so they didn't have to tell us. They led by example. And the first advice my mother told us this was always family. Family comes first. Work together, love each other, and work the family business as a family. No fighting. That's the way we did. We get along really well. We like each other.
Yeah,
So that's
good.
very important as a family to get along.
Yeah,
No matter what
very
reason,
important.
we're still together. We get along.
Yeah.
And we love each other.
Yeah, that's
So that
very
was
good.
big for her.
Yeah,
Because she was very close to her family too.
that's very good because that's what my grandmother implemented in all of
Yeah.
us. Family
Family.
first, and if
Yes.
there's any bigger, you nip it in the bucket right away.
Right.
Yeah. So as far as the business, do you see yourselves going to other states, or do you think you're going to stay in
There's so
California?
much to do in California. Right now we're working on Northridge. Again, our kids are coming into the business slowly. There's 7 of them. So hopefully all 7 of them come on board. We can continue this legacy that my mother started. But right now we have something really cool that you might not have to open anywhere else. We have something called Bake at Home. You go to our website.
Wow.
You can order products online. Comes to you frozen with ice. There's video, baking instructions all over the United States. Whether it's Florida and New York, Hawaii and Alaska, it's too expensive right now. So if that works, and again, it's doing really well, you go see the videos. You can bake with your most popular items, whether it's the meat pies, the potato balls, the cheese rolls, all
I didn't know that about you guys. Okay.
It's online. Bake at Home. There's videos. You're able to get it in 2 days. You can cook it. It goes from the freezer to the oven, and your house is gonna smell. It's gonna smell like Porto. So if that does really well, you really don't need to be opening in every state because people, that's become the thing now.
Right.
More and more people want things to be sent to them.
Yeah.
So we're working on it too.
Very good.
Bake
Good
at
for you
home.
guys.
Check it out. You're gonna love it.
Well, there you go. Very
Yes.
good. Well, is there anything that you would like for the audience to know that I haven't asked you?
Well, I just said, for them to know that at the end of the day, we're just a hardworking family, that we love what we do, and every day we just, think about how to keep improving the bakery and how to keep those prices down. That becomes harder by the day. But that's our commitment to the community.
Okay.
To give out the best product we can at the best prices. And I just, since we're in West Covina, just want to thank the people of West Covina for their love that they have shown our family and how welcoming they have been, and all the stories that I get every day when they come and they give me a hug. They say, I want to hug you because you don't understand how much we love you. So
that's
I
beautiful.
want to think that's every day.
Yes.
Not once a week. Every day, if I'm standing in West Covina in the front, I get a hug and a kiss and a thank you. So thank you to West Covina for opening their arms and being so welcoming to the bakery.
That's great.
And to our family, because at the end of the day, if you welcome the baker, then you're welcoming our whole family into your city. So thank you, West Covina.
Wow, that was beautiful. Well, there you have it, everyone. You heard it from Betty with Portos. Her story is wonderful, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And I just want to say, if any of you guys are looking to buy, sell, or refinance, please reach out to me. And any agents that are looking to join a growing office, please reach out to me because I would love that opportunity to speak to you. And be sure to like me on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram for your chance to win in our weekly drawing of the Red Couch. Bye.
Bye-bye.